After Technoblade's passing, Philza Minecraft revealed to us the following.
So you know the whole Emerald, like, friendship thing? Initially, that was Techno's idea. But you know why he introduced it? Because the initial plan that he had for me and his character was for me to betray him. He was like, dude, let's make it like, let's make us look like absolute best buddies, unbreakable best buddies. And I was like, oh, this is great, I love this. And then afterwards he told me, yeah, so my plan, he like told me his plans. I was like, oh man, that makes me sad though. And he changed it because it made me sad.
To those who might not be very well versed in the Dream SMP's deep and complex lore, this plan might seem a bit wacky at first. I mean, Phil might be one of the closest, if not the closest person to Technoblade, so why does it make sense for him to betray him? And how does it even fit to the story? Well, I'm here to talk about these things, I guess. Hello nerds, and welcome to why I think that Philza of Minecraft should have betrayed Technoblade. Make sure to subscribe. Technoblade on the Dream SMP was an anarchist that was called to bring down L'Manberg by its very own founders. After, of course, they lost the elections to a tyrant. He was the only one that could do that since he was seen as the most powerful warrior, the Blade. Techno really connected with the people he aided, sharing his ideologies about the world, really letting everyone know that he's not the biggest fan of any governments. After all, that was the only reason he was there to begin with. So without going much into detail, Techno's character was basically a guy that was feared by everyone because of how good he was at PvP. He was very transparent with his political ideologies and, did not hide the fact that he hated governments from anyone. But sadly, the people around him did not view him as such. Instead, they viewed him as the Blade. Just another tool that once its purpose was fulfilled, it gets discarded and forgotten about. One extremely clear example of this happening was when Techno basically helped bring down a whole government by himself, let's be honest, and instead of people celebrating their newfound freedom and unity, they immediately went to form a new government right in front of his face, I'm telling you, man, it was insane. So, without going into every single event that happened, basically we get the gist of it. He gets backstabbed a lot. And I think that you can now see why a huge backstab by Philza would make sense. So, real quick, what actually happened in the Dream SMP? So, Philza, Dream, and Techno team up to destroy L'Manberg for one last time. 3 of the most powerful people on the server get together in order to destroy a government, once and for all. So the 3 of them managed to destroy everything in an epic final battle, and everyone lived happily ever after. Philza and Dream have no reason to backstab Technoblade. So yes, a story on its own that is amazing, that is such a great, happy, I guess, ending, you could say. But the problem with the Dream SMP is that it was supposed to have like another season and more things happening. So the Technoblade character has kind of, done everything that he wanted to do. So he's just hanging around now, awkwardly. But instead, let's see what happens when Phil betrays him. Hello, editor JamesKosmo here. I kind of forgot to record this part, but yeah, basically the reason that Phil betrays him is because Phil knows that you cannot have a society without a government. So even though he truly likes Technoblade and he even loves him, let's say, he cannot let Technoblade go through with his plans because, he would basically destroy everything that was being built. And thus he, does what I'm about to explain. So let's imagine this now. Everything is the same. Techno, Philza and Dream all go to the place earlier than they were supposed to. Dream is setting up the TNT, the people get alerted. Techno is fending off all the foes whilst they do not understand where Dream is and what is going on. Philza is sitting in the sidelines in his final life because people have 3 lives in the Dream SMP anyhow. Technoblade fires his rocket launcher at the air, indicating to Philza that now it's the time to summon as many withers as possible to aid in battle. Instead, Philza does not do anything. Technoblade gets panicked more and more when he realizes that something is wrong. Philza slowly approaches Technoblade. Techno knows that something is up, and thus he stops fighting. When the people realize that he's no longer fighting them, then they all rush to Dream, in order to stop him from loading the cannons. A second fight up in the rafters where, the cannons are set up, it takes place where Dream is fending off now the opponents of Techno. Phil just apologizes to Technoblade and a PvP fight begins. Dream starts to lose the battle since, he was not prepared to fight 20 guys anyhow, so, that did not go well for Dream, so he flees. But then, Technoblade takes Philza's final life in anger, and thus he flees, a broken man. I think that the ending that I gave was pretty poggers, you could say, right, wasn't that amazing? And you can do so much more with the character, also, knowing Greek myths and knowing how Technoblade adored these, he wanted a tragic end to his character, I imagine. If not, I mean, we cannot know, but I'm just saying, I really like this ending because it leaves off, time for Techno's character to do other things, and, maybe we could see a crazy Techno, he actually has a real purpose why he's away for more things to happen. Lamanberg gets rebuilt or something under a new dictatorship. Dream has to deal with now all this hate, I guess, and being exiled kind of because he tried to fend off everyone. I don't know. In general, I don't know. I really like that idea. Anyhow, nerds, I really hope that I changed your opinions on the topic because I know many of you were heavily opposed to it, and Phil, you were opposed to it. I hope you see this somehow. I do not know if that's feasible. But yeah, I would like to know more about, Techno's ideas on that topic, and anyhow, make sure to subscribe now.